we wrote some songs for the LP while we were there. One of them we just kind of like dropped some acid and just like went into the practice space and just fucking. It was serotonin, actually. Yeah, it was serotonin.
Right.
But it has just like this fucking stupid time thing, and I don't know. It has a stupid part. It's basically just ridiculous. And I remember we wrote it, and then we heard the rough track of it like that night when we were going to get dinner or something in the car. And I'm like, dude, I can't even follow what the fuck is going on. Like, we just recorded this, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's wild.
Welcome to the 14th episode of the Cassidins Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering, and this is the show where I interview mathcore adjacent bands. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, I'll try my best to read them aloud. And if you're watching this on YouTube, listening to this in your car, and have no idea what I'm talking about, the cast is first shown live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday for the live stream at twitch.tv/the Cassidins Creation. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest tonight who dropped their debut album, Dawn, on 12 Gauge Records back in April. Welcome in Thin. How are you guys doing?
What up? What's up? Yeah.
Tell us who you are and what you do in the band.
Please go ahead, Andrew.
My name's Andrew. I play bass. I write. I sell merch for the band. I pretty much do everything for the band. Nobody helps me.
That's true. All right. That's it. I don't have to say anything.
No, I just play bass.
Yeah, but I feel like bands like have a lot of little logistical things here and there that are not considered. Yeah, Andrew fills a lot of that. He does a lot of that stuff. Ship stuff out, man. I'm Ashley. I play guitar and vocals.
Okay. And we're missing your drummer, Fernando. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Fernando couldn't be here tonight. He's has a date with some Christmas trees or whatever. No, he like okay. runs a garden center, and it's very busy. Very busy.
I could imagine.
Probably
especially around the holidays.
Yeah, he's probably still working. Sad.
So you guys have been around for almost 2 years. I would say kind of a young band, but you guys have made a huge mark in that time. Can you give us a brief history of the band?
Yeah. Andrew, is it okay if I take a stab?
Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, I guess we kind of say it started in like early, like basically January 2019. And we put out our EP, Respite Apology, in April 2019. So I guess like basically we used to play in other bands in the kind of Brooklyn NYC scene. Starting, Andrew and Fernando have been playing in bands together from way back.
For about 10 years now.
Yeah, they're like true NYC boys, but I'll let you talk about that. But yeah, basically, like I met Andrew and Fernando. They were playing in their band, Dwayne Barry, rad band, who we played with them first in 2014 at Coco 66, man. One of the many iterations of that. And if anybody is listening or will listen from around, they'll know. And then we played together at the Acheron, another fucking venue that's just gone. Love that venue, the Acheron in Brooklyn. And so we played together, and then the band that I was playing in, Mary Todd, I guess I should say Dwayne Barry kind of took a break, and then Mary Todd needed a drummer, and then Fernando's sick, and so Dwayne Barry had a break, and so we're like, yeah, sweet, we can keep doing Mary Todd. And so that was like 2016, and then we kind of were like ended Mary Todd in 2018, late 2018, and then just kind of like picked up with Thin late 2018, really early 2019, and kind of like recruited Andrew on bass. I would say, was it like December 18, November 18, something like that?
Yeah, it was like in the winter for sure.
Yeah, so basically like Dwayne Barry took a break, and then Mary Todd just ended, and then the kind of the ashes of both of those kind of came together, and Andrew, do you want to talk about you and Fernando a little bit?
Yeah, you pretty much covered it. Me and Fernando, we've been we were, you know, first jamming, I would always go to his place, and he has his drum setup in his basement. We were always just like messing around and like writing stuff, but we never like fleshed it out. And then that's when Dwayne Barry came about, and like Ash said, Dwayne Barry took a break. Fernando joined Ashley and his band, and a few years later, we all ended up together, started writing music.
Yeah, and Fernando and Andrew are like NYC like native. They're NYC boys. And so they've been here. They're old, anyway, OGs.
It's interesting that you both came from bands named after people, and now you're in a band that's not named after a person. So where does the name Thin come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess the name comes from, I don't know. It comes from, it's almost like a joke, like tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, but I would say, so it kind of comes from, at least one of the places it comes from is tone. Like, you know, usually like good, at least in heavy music, you have a nice, thick, like beefy, thunderous tone or whatever, nasty tone. But like thin is not really a word that you would want to associate with your tone. And we just thought that it was really funny. And we thought it'd be funny, like at a show, like one day, like after a band plays, like, dude, that was sick. Your tone was so thin, dude. Awesome. And like, pretend like it was something positive, but it doesn't sound like, you don't want that. And I don't know. So that was kind of, and also it's just kind of like I don't know, something about thin just kind of sounds a little off or sinister or something. It's just thin. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of ugly in a way. And I thought it kind of worked for our sound and aesthetic. Or we all decided that it worked. But yeah, so I guess that kind of that little inside joke about thin.
So it's really a long con then.
Yeah.
Well, it makes a pretty interesting logo. I love how you're able to get the letters together, but it looks so fucking cool, man.
It does make for a cool logo for sure.
Yeah, my wife designed that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad that worked out good.
So what influences come into this? I can hear a lot of As the Sun Sets and like Hayworth going on here, but what else do we have?
Hayworth, wow. Yeah. I thought of that. Andrew, do you want to
I would say like between the three of us, it really ranges. Fernando really has like a punk vibe going on, and then he's kind of just been like always picking it up ever since I met him. Like he's always trying to like improve on his technique and the way he approaches the drums and music. So like with Finn, he's kind of like just like gone with like the grindcore vibe, like all out, and has just been picking up his speed and tempo with everything he does. And I guess for me, as far as influence, I pick up, from pretty much like any like heavy subgenre you could think of, grindcore, of course, new metal, deathcore, metalcore. Like there's something like you can gravitate towards in, every genre, if you look for it.
Yeah, and it's like as far as bands, like, I think we all kind of like were influenced by the Dillinger Escape Plan and Daughters and Converge and all those fucking early aught bands that you grew up like being blown away by, and just popping in like a Hellfest DVD and just being like, what the fuck is this? This is amazing. And so yeah, like that kind of stuff, obviously, but I guess we also are just like, yeah, but whatever we feel like. Yeah, System of a Down is definitely something we all kind of dig, and I don't know, whatever. It's obviously it's just kind of like it's grindy, but like we try to just like not be too.
You don't want to be one specific thing. You want like a wide canvas to paint on, essentially.
Yeah, it's like it inevitably kind of falls within the mathy, grindy kind of sound, but we try to. I don't know. We don't like try to be exactly something, and we try to I play like a guitar and a sound that's not really that heavy. It's kind of like twangy and kind of ugly, but like with Andrew's fucking nasty, thick bass tone, it works, you know? And so, you know, that's cool. So we kind of try to do, I don't know, stuff that maybe is a little different than typical grind, but I don't know. But I also don't know a shit ton about gear and stuff. So maybe that is a lot of what people do. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I would say that you do have this, I don't know, I guess twangy is a good way to put it. There's this, between like the lyrics and the album cover and just the overall feel, like the banjo and stuff, you seem to have this obsession with like the West, like deserts and such. What's going on with that? Is that like an overall theme for the band, or is that just this one album?
It's just this album, and basically, yeah, it kind of like is referring loosely to New Mexico. And that's where I was born. The album is kind of about my relationship with my estranged father, and because I didn't know him and he died last year, and so
Jesus,
I was and I kind of just found that news out, and it was kind of like really weird because I didn't know him, but it still felt like this sadness and confusion. So, you know, the album was a way to just kind of like cope with that, like pain and confusion and whatever. And so the lyrics, you know, are a lot of imagery of the West, the Southwest. The thing is, like, I was only there for the first year or so of my life, so I don't actually remember any of it. It's just kind of this, you know, what is memory anyway? So it kind of gets into those kind of things, and so I'm kind of cobbling together a picture of like my beginning, dawn kind of thing, you know.
I just got that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Right, yeah. I mean, I don't think I've unpacked that for like really anybody, but yeah. So it kind of is really specific to that, whereas like Respetapology is more, you know, generally just about like being a fucking depressed, anxious person. I mean, that's definitely part of Dawn, but it has a lot to do with like, you know, what I was talking about. And,
well, you do hear like a slight stylistic change. Like on your album, you're more, I guess, a warmer sound than the EP. So you can see like the how like bringing in the West and stuff makes you, you know, change. I'm not sure where I'm going with that, but yeah, there's a slight difference happening. Speaking of that, what about the writing process? How does that work with you guys?
Well, I would say it's pretty. I mean, I don't want to, organic. Is that a douchey thing to say? I don't know. It's basically like one of us has an idea. I kind of like feel like I think rhythmically. Like I usually don't have like an actual riff to stuff. I'm just like, oh, I kind of have like this kind of rhythm and like this kind of meter, you know. And I kind of try to explain it to Fernando and Andrew. And this is in some instances, you know, where I have an idea, and they kind of flesh it out rhythmically. I'm like, all right, shit, that sounds tight. Like, all right, fuck, now I'm gonna actually like throw some guitar onto it, some high pitched nastiness, and like, so really like it starts with like a good like low end kind of feel. Like it's, you know, it gets kind of groovy and a lot of the songs, but then, you know, other times Fernando and Andrew like just they write something together or whatever. I know that the song Dendrochronology on the album.
Oh, right, yeah.
Andrew just kind of wrote that. I guess, yeah, Fernando and Andrew. I guess Fernando had a count, and he kind of just was like doing this count and this like bouncy riff at the beginning, and Andrew was kind of like do 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 do. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys playing? But I'm like, I like this. This is sick. And I was like, what the fuck do I play to this? And so, yeah. And so anyway, yeah. So, you know, I would say it's fairly organic. We don't try to like, I don't know. Yeah, there's not a lot of, I don't know. What do you think, Andrew? I'm kind of just like fucking.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. The head on the nail. Yeah, it could go either way. You know, like Ashley will bring in an idea, or you know, me and Fernando are usually vibing on something, and then Ashley will jump in. That's pretty much how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty straight, pretty
it's pretty straightforward. But I mean, if it ain't broke.
Yeah. Well, but also that being said, it can be like. You know, like we'll think of something and then and then the next practice we'll come back to it and then like kind of refine it. And over the practices, like we'll always be kind of chipping away at something that at its core we're pretty like stoked on, but we are tweaking it here and there. But yeah, a lot of times it starts with this kind of like core rhythmic idea that like we're like, yeah, generally it's a good like quote unquote song.
Yeah.
Well, y'all seem to work pretty fast. We had an EP just like early last year or whatever, right? And last year. And then you got your full length now. Are y'all planning on something pretty soon?
Yeah. So I mean, it's been hard to meet because of all this stuff. But we're doing our best. So I'll kind of leave it mysterious. No, we definitely have some plans, and we're really fortunate to work with 12 Gauge Records, and we actually we self-released the Dawn and Respite, and after the fact. Oh, we lost you, Andrew. After the fact. Oh, there you are.
Did we? Oh, okay. I was gonna say I see him.
Oh, maybe I fucking lost you. I don't know. Jesus, maybe I'm fucking tripping. No, basically 12 Gauge picked us up after the fact, so that we were like doubly stoked on that. But anyway, so we're working with a great label, and there'll be something.
I did see that. That's pretty interesting. It seems to be happening with a lot of mathcore bands. Like they'll release a thing, and then later on they'll come out with vinyl or something like that, or someone will pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like some labels are starting to, take notice of the whole scene that's happening, right?
Yeah, there's this band, The Sound, The Ends Creation, and like they put out some shit on Dark Trail, and it's like, bro, it's fucking sick. Yeah, no, the recent LP is fucking.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's a piece of work. It's wild that's just you.
Yeah, seriously.
It's very. After that, I like listen to Mr. Bungle like a lot. Like I don't know why it like spurred that in me, because you have a couple of things that very remind me of that. And so,
dude, I still haven't listened to Mr. Bungle. I keep meaning to. I fucking forget all the time.
Bro, just
you know what? Fuck it. I'm writing it down right now. Mr. Bungle. We're checking it out.
start from the first album and just go on. And I mean, don't listen to the fucking new album. That's a goddamn disappointment, in my opinion. But
I heard it's just like a re-recording of an old recording. Is that?
Yeah, they were like they rehashed old demos and like tweaked them for I guess to re-record them.
Yeah, see, I don't understand bands that do that. I just had Plastic Bag Face Mask on kind of recently, and they like re-recorded all of their old stuff, like whole albums worth of stuff. And I'm like, wow. I mean, that's cool, but like, isn't it like history? And like, I don't know. I'd want to leave it the way it is, right? But I don't know.
Unless you had something to add to it, like, I mean, like, I guess production-wise, but more like both maybe production and something else you did to the song. But yeah, if it's just the same song, it's like, let it, or release like a live version of that song or something kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So you guys are on 12 Gauge. How did y'all hook up with them?
We put out the Dawn on 420.
Yeah.
Because I don't smoke a ton of weed. And then like I don't know, we were pretty like pleasantly surprised with the reception. Again, self-release, we just put it out there and we worked damn hard on it. but yeah, and people were like, we sold out of tapes and stuff like quickly and almost and like a lot of the shirts went quickly and stuff. It was just we're like, wow, okay. I'm gonna hit up some. It was actually after I listened to the Mathcore and Mathcast that Christian and Levi had Thin on, where they covered Dawn. I think it was the May, I think it was like early May, and I listened to it, and it's kind of like nerve-wracking and weird and cool to like hear people talk about your shit. Like be honest. I mean, I think at least they're being pretty honest because I'm not there. and you know, and giving their 2 cents and then playing it. It was cool, and so I guess that was like made me feel like good and confident. Like, you know what, I'm gonna hit up some labels. Fuck it, why the fuck not? I want to put out some tapes. I was just thinking tapes, honestly, and then like. Yeah, and so I hit up some people, including 12 Gauge, and Jihad. He runs 12 Gauge, Jihad Rabat. Anyway, so Jihad is like, bro, yeah, like you hit me up at a perfect time. Let's do vinyl. I want to press on vinyl. It was just like so like what? Like, I did
right,
like,
and he did 3 variants too. Like that's fucking crazy.
Didn't that and I was really like kind of like scared. I was like, what? Like he wants to press this much? Like, is this
like, doesn't he know that we're small as shit?
Oh yeah, it's like,
no.
Like, does he really want to lose money that bad? Like he said, like he doesn't do it to make money. He said, I'll try to break even or whatever. But like, yeah, and so I was like, well, here we go, and then it did well, and we only have a few left, so.
That's fucking sick, man.
It was just very good timing. It was very good timing, I think, for us. I mean, it's also ironic because like we can't actually play the fucking shit like live.
For real?
So.
Oh, like right now? You
no,
mean right now? Gotcha. I was like,
yeah.
y'all can't play that live? Okay, I got you.
No. I don't know if
you can't actually play the songs either.
No. I'm just saying like, fuck, like live.
Yeah. I got you. You can't like tour or whatever.
Yeah, there's no live music, and it's like we put out this album, and like it's like kind of blue balls too a little bit.
Yeah, it sucks. You have to like sit on your hands or whatever. Just like not able to do much with this.
I know there's some stuff you can do like now, but yeah, it's I just miss live music. I just miss going to fucking shows, let alone playing shows. I just want to fucking get my face blown away by a 8x10 and get PBR spilled on my shoulder, and
that's my favorite part of every show, getting the beer spilled on your shoulder.
I just want that. I miss it.
Holly in the chat says thin, more like thick.
I mean, maybe Andrew. I'm fucking, well, I don't know. I guess Dad Bod is definitely coming on. But no, Andrew and Fernando make sure that got that thick low end. I definitely have that thin tone. Actually, maybe I didn't even realize that I am like part of my own joke, because like my guitar tone is pretty like stringy. So it applies to me. Bro. Shit. The joke is on me. And it takes until now to like flesh this out.
Welcome to reality.
Bro. I don't know if I like it.
So you recorded this the same way you recorded your EP at Backroom Studios, and then had it mastered by freaking Audio Siege. How was the whole experience doing this?
Amazing.
The Backroom is always like a second home, pretty much.
You said it.
Yeah. Man. Like you can just like, they always like let us spend the night. How many days did we spend there? Like 3 or 4?
For the EP, it was like 2 nights in, then the next day, and then for the LP, it was 3 nights in a day or something like that.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all did it pretty fast.
Yeah, we
had everything pretty much like pre-product, like demoed out, and then we ended up writing like 2 or 3 songs there. That was an interesting creative process.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's always like, like get some groceries, come back to a studio, hang out with your bros, write some music, record some music, hang out with the engineer. Scott is always like a dad to us there.
Yeah, taking care of mischievous children. Backroom Studios is like, it's in, it's in Rockaway, New Jersey. And New Jersey, I think the strip mall was actually invented in New Jersey. So it's very New Jersey. It's in like this nondescript fucking place. It's like behind like a strip mall kind of cluster, and also right next to like a trailer park. It's so strange. And it's in this basement like space. and it's like a sign that says Backroom Studios, and it's above it is a fucking gym. So every once in a while you'll hear these like what are those? Like just on the ceiling.
Oh, the weights, yeah.
Like whatever you call those. Barbells. I'm like, and you know, they're so like they're used to it. But yeah, it's like it's run by Kevin Andrusian of Dillinger Escape Plan. Like, dude is fucking.
Oh,
so
that's
nice.
where I heard the name from. I knew I'd heard of this name place before, but I did not remember that. Okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and Kevin's just fucking sweetheart, and it's just really accommodating, and it's also like a practice space complex kind of too. And they have, but yeah, I mean, if, you know, for us, we're not coming from that far away, but it's, you know, it's far enough away that it would suck ass to like fucking, you know, every day, like go back home and then come back and wake up in the morning, like just stay there. I don't fucking shower, I don't brush my damn teeth. I just fucking go to sleep, wake up and play music. And it's just like, it's like a big sleepover. It's great. And, you know, we have access to like just the rooms and playing and stuff. And there's an arcade machine. Andrew said that Andrew was referring to, we wrote some songs for the LP while we were there. One of them, we just kind of like dropped some acid and just like went into the practice space and just fucking, it was serotonin actually. Yeah. It was serotonin.
Right.
But it has just like this fucking stupid time thing. And I don't know, it has this stupid part. It's basically just ridiculous. And I remember we wrote it and then we heard the rough track of it like that night when we were going to get dinner or something in the car, and I'm like, dude, I can't even follow what the fuck is going on. Like we just recorded this and I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's wild. And
that
also,
ended up on the album then, like as it was,
yeah,
like, as you guys were like dropping acid or whatever. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And it was our single, like the first one, and yeah, and I actually, like, I came back. We didn't do everything on those 4 days. Came back and did vocals in one day in December. Like we recorded it in October, and then I came back in December because I didn't have all the vocals written. We were just getting the instruments, and the difficult part with that was I didn't write vocals as I was writing the shit, and so they're on completely different like beats and stuff, and I had to so I recorded it just how I had it in my head, just like, and then I had to go learn how to fucking do it, and it was nuts, but yeah, muscle memory, just doing it a bunch and putting them together, and just like yeah, so that was kind of the process for the LP. Like definitely the lyrics and vocals came after, and I wanted to not always fall on the beat, and anyway, so I didn't really think about whether or not I was going to be able to play that, but you know, it more or less worked out.
Speaking of like vocals and stuff, it's really, your vocal style is really interesting. Like you spit it out so fast. Like it's kind of hard for me to keep up sometimes where you are in like the lyrics and stuff, because I was reading along with it.
Yeah.
Like why don't you spend more time like on saying the stuff? You know what I'm saying? Instead of like going through it as fast as possible. Is there like a reason why you want to go through it super quickly, or is it just how it happens?
I think that's more about like the energy. We're definitely less about like clean like sound and more about like the energy of the thing. And I think that's kind of why I do it, because I want you to feel that discomfort and not being able to understand, or like, or whatever. I don't know. So I think that would be my answer, but yeah, that being said,
it's kind of a weird question. I got you. It's kind of a weird question.
No, actually, no. That being said, when I also do vocals for Detach the Islands, which is a mathcore band featuring members of Juan Bond and
hell yeah, it is.
Also, yeah, and also Emmett, the drummer, is perhaps he's the best drummer I've ever played with. Like honestly, I think I could say that. He's insane, and he's filled in for Godmother on their tour with Number 12 Looks Like You last year and everything. So anyway, with Detach the Islands, Emmett, the drummer, does all the writing, and he like does the tracking and stuff, and I was doing vocals, and he actually was, you know, because he's producing it, and he was asking me to slow down, to enunciate, to basically do some of the things that because that's how he wanted it, and it was a challenge for me, but it was really a great experience, because I would like I just had to be uncomfortable, and I had to do things that were not necessarily my my wheelhouse.
So Cricket Slams asks, is there any new thing being worked on due to the pandemic? Now I know you guys said you got some stuff happening, but how is the pandemic affecting you guys? Like a lot of video chats of y'all playing, or are y'all getting together?
It's been slow.
At first, like when it first started, we were doing a lot of video chats, right? Were we? And then like that's how we like linked up with 12 Gauge. Is like we all had a video chat and we just had like an official meet about it. And then, you know, every once in a while we'll go in the rehearsal room, but like we'll take precautions.
It's really hard to meet, especially like now it's fucking spiking. At the beginning, like I had my daughter was born in June, and so like, you know, the pandemic kind of started
right in the middle of it. That's crazy.
Yeah, and so before she was born, like fuck it, I'm not, you know, I'm taking precautions, and then even afterwards, and so we didn't meet until like mid-September, like from like late February until mid-September, we did not jam. It was it sucked.
We actually had a show lined up just before everything went to shit.
We had some stuff lined up. I mean, a lot of people had some stuff lined up.
Well, yeah, that's.
I mean, there was some, I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah, we came back in September.
Oh yeah, we came back in September, and we kind of were trying. Oh, so maybe we could segue into this. We got the really rad opportunity to do a live session, which is going to be featured on the Global Grindcore Alliance Virtual Festival, which is basically a 2-day online festival with fucking grind bands around the globe, including Chapang, Bandit, Antigama, just amazing fucking bands. And so we're like, okay, we're gonna do this. We have to meet and just like, you know, dust the rust off, man, because it's been a while. And so we met like once a week in kind of like mid-September to mid-October, like I guess over the course of a month. And we kind of like just got our set down as tight as we could. And then we recorded it in October, and then, you know, we've met a couple more times, and now there's this fucking spike, and so we're taking precautions. It's really hard to meet. That being said, we're planning stuff, so yeah, there's stuff going on, but yeah, at this point, it's definitely difficult, and we're trying to be safe.
I can imagine that first time that y'all meet up after being quarantined for so long, you probably have all kinds of material and shit to work with, huh?
There's a lot in our heads, a lot going on. We already started fucking around with an idea. But yeah, I mean, I wish we could get in there every fucking day. Or I wish, at this point, just once a week. But yeah, it's difficult. But there's definitely stuff bubbling. We just got to be able to meet and do it.
So your set's recorded previously. It's not like done live then on the fest?
All of the things are pre-recorded just because. Yeah, I mean that's. I know. Yeah, Mathcore and Next Fest. Well, they had a mixture of things, but like, yeah.
No, yeah, a lot of their stuff was pre-recorded as well.
Yeah, I guess like logistically that would be kind of gnarly. But yeah, it's basically each band that's on it did their own live thing, and
it definitely did break down when Black Matter Device went on for the Mathcore Index one. I don't know if y'all saw that happening.
Yeah,
but, it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's awesome. I'm like, I commend that. That was awesome. No problem with that. But this is how they want to do it. We were honored to be asked. So I'm just like, fuck yeah, whatever. And we were thinking about doing a live thing anyway because pandemic life. That's what bands are doing. So we were kind of planning that, and Shatiz from Chapang asked us to do this fest, and I was like, seriously? Fuck yes. Chapang is an incredible grind band from their NYC base via Nepal. They call themselves Immigrindcore. 2 fucking drummers most of the time, at least when we record, and some shows, and nuts. So fucking good. Perhaps the best active grind band right now.
They did have a sick release earlier this year.
Yeah, Chata.
Yeah.
I got that Cum Candy variant.
That's awesome. How was it playing to like just a camera? Was it awkward? Was it weird for you guys? Trying to put on all the energy you would at a show, just like to one camera pointed at you?
It kind of was. It's definitely different. I've never done it. I've never done that.
I was just worried about fucking playing the right shit, like not fucking up, honestly. I sweat my ass off. I mean, I can't, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was weird, but we also kind of like asked for a confrontational, like, camera work. We like it. I mean, y'all should, you know, tune in December 19th and 20th on Veep, that Veep platform. $10 a day for each fest. But anyway, we asked the camera to not just be like, you know, filming us as if we're just playing. We asked them to be kind of confrontational and like different, like almost as if you're like maybe at a show and you're, so yeah, it was, we kind of asked for that uncomfortable vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of weird.
I feel like we kind of like, we saw like what other bands were doing and it was mostly the same thing, you know, just like them playing and that's it. So we wanted to take a different approach. We had some ideas and we kind of rearranged like the studio from what it was typically. And I mean, yeah, you'll see if you check it out, you know, it's more like in your face basically.
Yeah. Paul Stanley has
yeah, he's got a cameo.
Exactly.
Is there going to be any banjo?
Oh, so I actually don't know how to fucking play the banjo. It's on both recordings. It's a guitar. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, dude, it sounds exactly like a banjo.
The Spanish guitar, right, Ash?
No, it's just a finger style. I play a parlor guitar. It's like a smaller kind of acoustic. Like the body's a little smaller, but the neck and everything I bought this guitar from this place called the Jalopy in Brooklyn. I haven't been there in fucking years, but they kind of do like old timey roots, blues music, you know, folk, that kind of shit. And they have like a venue and they have classes of all the instruments, including banjo. But I only know, you know, I did the guitar like finger styling or whatever. So that's something I also really dig, like that kind of music. And so yeah, I wanted to like kind of include that a little bit as like just a little breath of fresh air on both, you know, both the EP and the LP, just has like a contrast. Yeah, it's finger picking basically. So I could see why you might think it was a banjo.
Yeah. The way
oh, dude, it sounds exactly like one. Like that was wild. Huh? Is there going to be one on every release that y'all do?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Depends how much acid we do. No, I don't know. I mean, at this point, yeah, I'd like to, but as long as it feels right. Yeah. So the first one, it was just me. It was just like a little ditty that I, you know, had that, you know, I kind of based it on some of the other old timey shit that I listened to. And for this one, I came up with like the guitar ditty, and then Andrew, they're in the back room, in the live room, there's a piano. And so Andrew got on the piano and he was playing like kind of the bass notes with me on the recording. And then Fernando's way back sitting in the back room, like hitting a tambourine. So they accompanied me on the LP.
Yeah.
To great success, I think. No, I like how it turned out. And it was funny because at first when we were trying to track it, you know, I just tracked. It was also really cool because I had this like, you know, acoustic guitar. I just felt so cool and old timey because I like Scott, our engineer, who's also the singer of Organ Dealer, awesome grind band. So, you know, I had like the mic pointing at the guitar and then the mic here and trying to. That's how I recorded it. And the piano is kind of like to my right, and it's so fucking loud. Like so we're trying everything to muffle it. So we like close it. Yeah. We put a blanket over it or something. What did we end up doing?
Yeah, I just ended up playing it a lot quieter. I wasn't pressing the keys as hard.
You have to like lightly play it in order for it not to overpower the guitar. Because I'm also like I was not wearing finger picks or anything, just like a lot softer with
Right.
Yeah.
How'd you pick up that style of like finger picking and stuff?
So that place where I got the guitar, the Jalopy, they teach and they had shows and stuff. And at a certain point, I was just like, they have this free. I don't know if they still have it. Well, I mean, pandemic now, but before pandemic, I believe they basically they had a free Wednesday like thing. It was called like, fuck, what was it called? Roots and Ruckus or something. I don't know. And it was like, yeah, they had like a show and a bill, and it was like this guy, really awesome, talented guy who would host it, and then they would fucking have a bill of people doing awesome like old timey kind of music, like blues, roots, folk, like, but like not old. It was a mixture of like age groups and demographic and stuff. It was cool. It was kind of like a cool little community. Young. It was also like young people too playing this kind of music, which is kind of cool, kind of like interesting. Like this guy who's, I don't know, 20 fucking years old, just doing this gnarly like fiddle thing that just sounds like it's from the fucking 1890s or something. I don't know. There was something really cool about that. So so I took the finger styling classes there.
Is that how you got into that music, or were you into it before?
I kind of got into it like via like Bob Dylan kind of stuff. I would, because like like Woody Guthrie, just kind of like the stuff that he was influenced by, at least personally. And then I was like, oh my God, there's all this fucking rad old music, and it's like you can just get lost in a rabbit hole in the same way you can with metal or whatever kind of music you like. But there's a lot of cool stuff there, and also just like the historic nature of the recordings, like oh, this song was recorded in 1926, and like this is like just trying to like fathom that, and like hearing like the like the crackling, and just like imagining the setup, like, and how like fucking on these musicians just have to be to like you can't fuck up, like like I don't know, no comping, like it was So personally, I mean, I guess I thrust that upon Andrew and Fernando, but yeah, I don't know, it's something that I personally like.
I really like that old kind of music too, man. I'm more of like a 50s and 60s kind of person, but I can really dig some like the 20s music and shit, like the lounge singers and such.
Yeah, absolutely. Takes you a different place sometimes.
So briefly mentioned it, but the album cover, where did that come from? Like the idea of like the West or whatever. I guess it has to deal with like the lyrics and everything, but it seems like there might be more of a grindcore like vision you could have rather than just like a range of mountains.
I was just, I had a lot of the lyrics. Oh yeah, I had all the lyrics written. So like the art came very like at the end, I think, if I remember correctly. And so I had all the lyrics written, and I'm like, well, this is what it's about. I kind of would like it to reflect that in some way. And I guess I was like, I Googled image like desert or something, New Mexico desert. I don't know. I honestly like just literally did that, and I like fucked with a bunch of different photos, and I just like, I basically fucked with multiple photos beyond comprehension, and then like add some color and shit in Photoshop.
Oh, so it wasn't like you didn't like make it or whatever. You just filtered some photos and stuff.
I mean, I guess I made it, but it was not a filter. Like I cut up stuff. I like put together like, so it's kind of like a collage-ish. I would say it's a collage, and then that I kind of arranged. And, so it's kind of like a photo collage in a way. But I don't know. I was just trying to like get the general sense of like a desert-y vibe. And I don't know why orange. I don't know. Orange just kind of seemed like the color it is when the sun is rising or setting or some shit. I don't know, but it seemed like kind of like a sunny vibe, and also kind of like weird for, I don't know. I mean, I also wanted something that like you wouldn't necessarily know what kind of music it would be. Like, I don't think it necessarily looks like a grind. Maybe to me, it doesn't look like necessarily it's gonna be like a grind album or something. But maybe to other people it does. So I wanted it to kind of look like a little like weird, I guess.
No, yeah, it does have a weird feeling about it. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, there's totally something different going on there.
Makes you feel uneasy.
Yeah, but whenever you like read the lyrics and you like hear the music and stuff, it all actually ties together really well. Because like again, it has like that kind of warm feeling to it that most grindcore bands don't do.
Wrap you in a warm blanket of blasts.
Legs for Lurking is asking, are you taking applications for a second guitarist? I'm very unskilled and enthusiastic.
I mean, fuck. We'll see. It's really convenient having just 3 people to organize and stuff. So
especially right now.
Yeah.
But this way you can have like yourself doing like the finger picking banjo kind of shit, and then you have like the grind guitarist over there going crazy.
It's something to consider. We keep open minds. But yeah, at this point we're just trying to work with what we have for adding too much more to the mix, I think. Maybe a second drummer at this point. No, I'm just kidding.
I just wanted to say, chat, you guys can drop questions, comments, whatever. Cell Damage, I see you in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. So you guys played some shows, obviously. You're a band. What is your worst show experience?
Fuck.
I think our shows have. I mean, maybe I'm not thinking of one that's particularly bad.
Well, but you're just talking about like generally in our careers, right? Like in other bands or whatever too. Like just
yeah, sure. Show? Sure.
Okay.
Just your worst experience.
That's a fucking hard one. There's been some rough ones.
I mean, I've had it like
tell a couple of them
on me mid-set.
You've had a what?
I've had a string pop on me mid-set and like just completely ruined everything, and I didn't have a backup. That was like a really I don't know, what would you say, amateur hour? That was like really amateur hour of me.
Yeah, learning those mistakes. I would say it was the old band that had Mary Todd. It started out forever ago, just like it was like me and a bass player, and we both did vocals, and it was like a drum machine, like basically like a laptop playing Logic, like fucking drums. And we played at this bar in Brooklyn called Lulu's, RIP, all these places just gone. And yeah, a show was going on there. There wasn't really many people there, and it was like, I don't know, there was kind of like a second tier to the bar too, so you kind of walk upstairs and kind of sit aloft and blah, blah. And so, like, I don't know, a band before us, like, played. Oh, that's right, our friends from Virginia came through, and they were in a different kind of band-ish, but they were like, yeah, you should play with the show anyway. And so the band that played before us was, like, some indie band, like, you know, fairly pleasant to listen to, I guess. And then Mary Todd came up, and it was fucking just the loudest, most grating, and you know, it's like a terribly programmed drums over a PA, just like chung, 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 and there was like, and I remember distinctly, like, to get from that second tier, walking down the stairs to the ground floor to get out of the bar, you had to walk right past the stage. And so I remember there was this couple, like, after we started playing, they just kind of like were walking down like in front of us, and they kind of just were like just like oof. So yeah, those early days were pretty fucking gnarly. Just learning how to do shit, like Andrew was saying. But with Thin, like, you know, we haven't been playing too long, so, you know, I guess we've just had the luck of the draw, but we've been lucky to not really have too many or anything really bad.
I think we've been fortunate to be in bands prior to Thin and just learn from our experiences from those prior bands and bring it on here and just know what we're getting into and how to just prep ourselves for that.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta just like fuck up. Yeah, so that's interesting. Some of those bad things are just about fuck ups. Or I don't know. I mean, I guess also Mary Todd played this place in Elmhurst, Queens, called Blackthorn 51. Oh. This is another thing about learning from your mistakes. So it was pay to play, and, and we were already like uneasy about doing it, but we're like, you know what, like we really want to fucking play, and so we did it, and it was garbage, and like it was the cheesiest venue, and it was like these old school kind of like New York metal crew who just like I don't know. It's just they were.
But imagine
really,
all the exposure from the pay to play.
Yeah, like the guy who booked it is a total fucking dickhead, and the way he ran shit, he's like, it's not pay to play. It's like, it's you making commitment to. I don't know. He was just this fucking a-hole, and the place looked like a converted strip club, which is neither here nor there, but it was really tacky. And like the stage was behind a fucking barricade. Like, really? Like, it wasn't that big of a venue. And it's way the fuck out in Elmhurst, Queens, and drinks are like so goddamn expensive. And in between bands, I remember it's like, all right, that was Mary Todd. Next up, blah blah. It'd be like a fucking like, what do you call it? Like an MC kind of guy like announcing. And we got $10 apple teeny shots. Like, I was like, wow. And I remember like even before we played, we just got fucking shit wasted. Just like we brought a pitcher of beer on stage because we were like, what do we do? What do we get ourselves into? Yeah, so we made it a good night, but so yeah, I guess learn from those mistakes.
How many tickets were they making you sell?
25 or something. I don't fucking remember. Yeah,
Jesus.
We were like, and it was a kind of venue that did a lot of like headliners that were like just like kind of washed up. Like, this is the former backup guitarist for Marilyn Manson's band is playing this fucking show, and like the first band goes on at 6 p.m., last band at 2 a.m. or something. Like it's fucking 10.
Oh yeah, one of those fests. I see.
Yeah, it was like one of those kind of things.
Definitely
like,
too many bands for a local show. That's for sure.
Yeah, they like thought of themselves as this big like fucking production or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I hope I'm not hurting anybody's feelings who really like Blackthorn 51. I doubt anybody knows what that is in this chat.
I think that place closed down.
They did. They did recently. R.I.P.
So what's the best show experience? Your best show experience?
Ooh. Ash, I'll let you take that one.
You let me take that one? For Thin?
I mean, well, for Thin, like, I don't know, I feel like Thin's had like a lot of pretty decent shows.
We've been really fortunate. I'm forgetting all. Okay, so one, I guess, off the top of my head, there's this tiny little venue in Brooklyn called Jones Beach, and it's like it fits gear and like a few people. It's so fucking small, so people kind of like it's maybe like if you really squish in there, maybe like 10 people.
Pretty much like a bedroom that we're playing.
And then it kind of leads to like this hall where the bathrooms are, and then the bar. So it's kind of very narrow, and then it opens up into a small kind of space where you play. And I was looking for a show for this really rad band from Long Island called God's Eyes, who have been featured on Mathcore Index, and yeah, they're really great. They were looking for a show. They were on a little tour, and as was Needleplay and Noises, who those names should kind of be familiar to all, but they were also looking for a show on the same date. And so I was like, fuck, I'll try to find a show in New York that we can all play. And it just came together because my friend in a band, Mad Diesel, fucking awesome beatdown hardcore from New York, he like started this little venue recently, like probably a year ago or so. And yeah, it's called Jones Beach. It's like under the JMZ train, like on Broadway. It's an interesting area, like so basically tiny as fuck. And so we, 20 people came to the show, and it was like packed out. And, it was a Sunday or whatever. So, but it was a tiny show, but it was like people were going apeshit nuts in this tiny little venue, like jumping off of shit. Like, you know, like some of the LI crew were just dancing really crazily. And some of my friends who came were like they're, you know, kind of like, like standing like, shit, I gotta get out. Like, and then I remember when we were setting up, there was like these, they must have been 13 years old, 14, like year old kids making a drug dealer, in there, like in front of us. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Cause this dude who was our age, like, you know, late 20s, 30s, came in to the room while it was empty while we were setting up. And I had not seen him there because there's so few people. I knew everybody was there basically. I'm like, this guy wasn't at the show yet. I'm like, oh, maybe he showed up for us. But then I saw these two little fucking like 13-year-olds come in and fucking sell him weed. And I was like, what the fuck? And then they proceed to go on our microphones while we're setting up, and they're like, motherfucker, fucking F, you know, they're dropping the F bomb and stuff, like the bad F bomb, not fuck. And like, just like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm just like, dude, and I was just like, can you fucking not? It was just amazing. It was just like this wild west of just like a venue, like just, I don't know, yeah, the area that it was in. And it was too small to house like Noise's drum set. The Matt is fucking incredible drummer, also drums in Wormhole, and Anch is also in that band too. But I remember there's a photo, I think Jones Beach posted it, it's on Instagram, but it's Matt's drum set up outside of the venue because it's so fucking, it's a pretty big drum set and the venue's so small, and like it's like they're just, and they're posing with the drum set, like, you know, middle of fucking Broadway. It's great. Good shit. Jones Beach. Nuts.
So what about you, Andrew? What's your best show experience?
The one Ash described, that was a really good night for us. Just because it was like such a unique venue and everything. But for me, it would have to be, honestly, we had like a 3-day run, 3-day weekend run, and one night was in Massachusetts, and we played like in the basement of some like dorm house or something. Well, I don't know what it was, but we played a basement show.
In Lowell?
Yeah, and there was like a bunch of college kids there, and I had taken an edible like before that, so I was just like feeling that set that night. But the crowd, like, really, like, I really vibed with the crowd. Like they had a ton of energy, and I actually ended up getting lost that night. I walked too far from the venue.
Like, it's a strong edible, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. It was like there wasn't much to look at around that area, and then we ended up hanging out with Needle Play afterwards. We had dinner with them at some diner, and they invited us to their place. So I think that whole experience.
I'm back to their place.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That whole experience made it for like an awesome night / like show altogether.
Yeah, and so, Tony from Needle Play like hit Thin Up like early on in the game, like after the EP, I think, and he was just like so complimentary, and like, I'm like, thank you, man, that's rad. I didn't think anybody would give a fuck, but anyway, so we have been trying to get to Lowell, and yeah, we did it, and Needle Play hooked us up with like a college house kind of thing, and so fucking rad, and eclectic show, all sorts of different bands played, but yeah, it was really fun, and Needle Play obviously kills it. They're wild, and yeah, we stayed at the Needle Play house. Yeah, once you stay there, you're never the same. But
what happens at the Needle Play house stays at the Needle Play house.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
That's the vibe there. But yeah, there's also like weed has at that point was super new in Massachusetts, and so we went to a dispensary. I waited like for an hour.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you got the edible.
Yeah, that's where it
came. Yeah. And so we were like, you know, like kids
you just forgot where it came from because it's so much.
And yeah, we got some really good fucking buds. So you're right, that was fun. Yeah, I think all the Thin stuff has been good. Yeah, but also it's funny, the last show we played before this all went down was a really weird show because it was at a place in Manhattan called Home Sweet Home in the Lower East Side, which didn't know they had shows, and I didn't know they had metal shows, and I don't think they did. But this band Truss from Pittsburgh like was coming through, and they asked us and Trace Amount to play. Trace Amount is another sick band who just released something that is featuring Billy Reimer. Features Billy Reimer on a couple tracks, drumming. Trace Amount. Listen to them. Anyway, we played Trace Amount and Trust.
I'm actually writing that down.
Yeah, Trace Amount. And really fucking good. It's basically one man industrial and harsh noise awesomeness. But yeah, we played, and it was basically, I would describe it as a bunch of like NYU people who, let's just say they're not like into like grind, and it was strange. It was a strange place, and as soon as the music got loud, it was just like started emptying and emptying out, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just like a weird bar to be playing this kind of music, and you know, and Andrew's family was there, and so that was really great. And like I remember like your cousin or somebody, your mom's like, why do you guys take so long to set up when you just play like such a short set or something?
It was just such a short set for the amount of time it takes for you to set up.
It was it's just so.
That's such a
weird.
mom thing to say.
Yeah. Weird stuff.
So Legs for Lurking asks again, favorite song you've written and why?
Shit. Wait, is Legs for Lurking, are you the person who rips a guitar and did actually like covered Dawn? Like you posted a cover which was super accurate.
Oh yeah, that was like,
I think that's who, which I'm like, how I barely know what I'm playing.
I thought only Ashley could do that.
I did the Dawn cover is what they said.
Yep. Yeah, dude. You rip. Okay. Well, I'll think about you for a second guitar. So what was the question? Our favorite.
Yeah. What's your
song?
favorite song that you've written and why?
Do you want to go first, Andrew, or you?
I don't know. I'm like tied between Din on Dawn and because that one just came so naturally. Like I remember you just like came up with that riff and then we were just all feeling it and it just came like naturally. So it's either between that, Din or Serotonin was like fun, of course, for obvious reasons. It might be between those two.
Which ones, Din or Dawn?
Yeah,
Din, Dawn?
Probably leaning more towards Din, honestly.
You're more Din than Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My cut goes to Bereft because it's like super short, to the point. I think it's like probably one of the fastest tempos in the song. It's like fucking blasts, like it's, I don't know. There's something just like super frantic and immediate about it, and I think it kind of was pretty good representation of the album, and it's also fucking a pain in the ass to play, but I like that it kicks my ass. So yeah, I'll say Bereft. Legs for Lurking. Try to learn that song. It's a bunch of bullshit again. You could just play Fender Strat. Sorry.
So you also do vocals for Detach the Islands. What's it like splitting yourself up between two different projects, and how do you find the time to do that?
Well, yeah, I mean, pandemic has kind of thrown everything out of whack, but I don't know, Detach the Islands, it's different, a different animal, because Emmett is the brain behind it all, and he writes all the music and the lyrics, and recruits fucking insanely talented people to actually play that shit. And then he's like, oh, Ashley kind of screams like a banshee, let's throw him on this shit. But yeah, so Emmett like writes it all, and he like actually writes out notation and stuff. I think like he knows how to read music. It's pretty sick. And as does Jay and Sid and fucking Eric, the bass player. They're just super fucking talented. So it's awesome just to kind of like see them kind of all work. And it's also really cool because I don't I'm just kind of like instrumentless. And even though like and ironically, that's how I kind of thought about it. But after I worked recording the LP with Emmett and really working on like the technique and stuff, I realized, shit, this is an instrument. And I'm glad that I'm working on these. I'm glad I'm thinking about it like that, I guess, because that's really helped me in Thin. Because I did that tracking before any of the Thin tracking. What was I saying? Yeah. So, but that being said, it's really cool to not have a guitar and just to like, what the fuck do I do? And yeah, I think finding the time. I think being the vocalist, I'm fortunate because it's not as much time. It's not as time consuming. Like if I can't make this thing here or there, I can still practice pretty much. And the fact that I'm not writing the music, it's really Emmett's like project in that sense. It's not, I think that's the most time consuming thing, just the creative process and then getting, dialing the songs.
So you're really just like an instrument then?
Yeah. In a sense, yeah. I'm just using my vocal cords. That being said, playing live with Detached is a damn good time.
You get to like actually move around rather than in Thin where you kind of got to stand still.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, for the most part. I mean, that's the thing, man. Like right before the pandemic, like we stopped in February, and I finally felt like comfortable playing, like really comfortable. Like I was starting to really like and now it's like fuck. Like getting ready for that live thing we did. That was pretty brutal. But yeah, with Detach, I can just kind of flail about, do whatever the fuck I want. Like it's a lot more exhausting though, because Emmett writes like a lot of words. God damn it. And with Thin, I'm more
short and sweet.
Yeah. But that's fine. Different kind of approaches and sounds. But yeah, it's a mouthful, and I'm fucking winded. But it's another great exercise. It's like it helps. It helps me because I love Detached Islands and Emmett, but also because I can kind of like work on my air capacity and not being so winded and et cetera, and also fuck man. Playing in Detached, you get some cool opportunities. Like Hate5six recorded the last show that
I saw it. That's fucking sick, dude.
So it's like, oh, cool, because we're playing with Frail Body and For Your Health. It's like, fuck yeah, bro. For Your Health also has a record coming on 12 Gauge in January, I think.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Cricket Slams was actually wondering if y'all had any other projects. That's why I brought that up. Do you have any other projects, Ashley, or was it just Detached the Islands?
It's no, there's a couple other. There's something called Skulk the Hulking, which is another, it's a Skulk, the Hulking. It's another instance where I'm not necessarily the write the music, and Fernando's in this band too. I play guitar, he plays drums. It's been different iterations of people, but it started out as basically it's this guy. He is a very big Polish Italian guy with a handlebar mustache who like does this aggressive like rap, like hip hop punk kind of thing. I would say it's a mixture of like Bungle, System of a Down, MSI, weird shit. Used to just do it with a laptop. And eventually he recruited musicians. So we do that occasionally. Skulk the Hulking, it's weird stuff. Kind of new metalish too, a little new metal in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Steve sounds like Limp Bizkit at points.
Yeah, that's true. And then I also like I really want to play drums. Like I can't really, I suck, but like that's something I really want to learn how to do better. And so again, up until all the shit went to shit, I would try to find time to do, usually before Thin practice, like I would double up just to make it possible. But like this thing called Kumquat, which doesn't have anything, but it's basically me playing drums and my other friends playing 2 guitars and a bass. And yeah, I'm just trying to fucking play drums, and it's weirdo, like, I don't know, kind of, it's just weirdo, like, I guess some guitar player really likes Blood Brothers and Head Wound City, so it kind of has that flavor-ish, but not as good as them.
What about you, Andrew? You got anything going on?
No, not any side projects, but me and Fernando we're always just like messing around, and it's mostly just to work on more thin stuff, to be honest. It's like as far as a side project as things will get for me, I think.
He doesn't have any side pieces.
I was gonna say, like, Ashley and Fernando are doing all this other stuff, and you're just over here doing none of it. What's going on?
I don't know. I mean, I stay creative in other like aside from music. Like I like to write stuff at home, but nothing like too serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cricket Slams asks, have you ever thought about adding more vocal techniques to Thin? I don't know.
Sure.
I think your vocals sound pretty good. What more could we add, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I'm game for whatever I can possibly do.
Dude, bring those breeze into it. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Oh, man. No, this is not 2009 or whatever, 2005. No. I'm trying to think of who. I guess Job for a Cowboy was the first band I kind of heard do that kind of thing.
Freaking Waking the Cadaver. For some reason, the last three casts I've had, we've brought up Waking the Cadaver, and so here we are again.
Great. Dude, fucking, yeah. I remember in college, my freshman year, like almost every day, or it was every other day, I had class with a friend, and we would go to his dorm after this class in the afternoon and fucking blast Waking the Cadaver, like a specific song and a specific hate-free song, and we were just like fucking so gnarly. Waking the Cadaver, they're a band again. They're together again now.
Are they?
Yeah, they fucking did some touring, and members of, they also like have like the guitar player. One of the guitar players has a band called Ground. It's fucking awesome. They're false grind. They're like kind of like the kings of false grind. I highly recommend Ground. So, and then also Waking the Cadaver, the bass player, is the drummer of Bandit, who is on the Global Grindcore Alliance Fest. So yeah, I mean, Waking the Cadaver is very relevant, bro.
Wait, are they original members of that band?
Mike, the guitar player, is, but I don't believe. Am I fucking spacing on his name? I don't believe. Am I thinking of his fucking Instagram name? Scoop Mids. Like, the fuck's my problem? Anyway, no, I don't think the bass player is, but yeah, the guitar player. And,
so, what was the last album you guys listened to?
Oof.
Mine was, I just started pumping the new Fuck the Facts.
Dude, that shit's sick, right?
So awesome. And I was telling Andrew and Fernando earlier that I had this like deja vu, because the last time they released something was 2015, and it was the same time and almost like pretty close to get like around the same like months that Napalm Death released their last one in 2015, and then now they both released, and so it's like I'm kind of like, they're both like in my heavy rotation now, and that's cool. That's really cool. So yeah, it's Fuck the Facts.
What do you think of their current like sound as opposed to what they were in? Oh my God, Stigmata High Five. I don't know if you ever listened to Stigmata, but it's a pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like the progression and the little difference in production and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So their sound's gonna change like naturally.
Yeah. Well, their last one was.
I forget what it's called too. I'm trying to remember.
I can't fucking remember right now.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Like, it's interesting that that's like the thing that you've been listening to, because I would say you guys like them are kind of pushing the boundaries of like where grindcore is going. Like, it's a very different sound that both of you guys have. I mean, I'm not saying you sound like that, but you're bringing like this different flavor to grindcore. I feel.
True.
Yeah, I love Fuck the Facts. I think
I feel like Fuck the Facts have always done that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. They're just something. They're something special.
So what about you, Andrew? What was the last album you listened to?
So earlier, like the last full album I listened to was Torrential Downpour, 2020. Okay. Is that what it's called? 2020. Yeah, that album is sick. And they recorded that at Backroom too. I can't believe that. Like, that's a sick album right there.
Yeah, they recorded with Kevin.
Yeah.
We recorded with Scott.
Yeah, I was actually trying to get those guys on the cast, but can't get a hold of them. If you guys can get a hold of them, get a hold of them for me.
God damn it.
Legs for Lurking is another question. Ashley, what was the name of your book? Is the poetry similar to your lyrics? You have a book?
Oh, no. I have a book? No, I don't have a book. I think referring to like a post. So Mike Centrone, it's his book of like poetry and writings, and he is featured on Maiden Name, the track Maiden Name. He does guest vocals towards the end, like the slammy part at the end. And Mike Centrone is an accomplished musician in his own right. He is the vocalist of Dehumanized. They broke up, but like he has been the vocalist for Dehumanized for the past, I don't know, many years, as well as other bands. So yeah, he's a sick vocalist, and yeah, so it's his book, and I was supporting supporting the dudes, and yeah, he's got some things to say. So yeah, it's not my book.
Andrew, did we already ask you what the last album was you listened to? I don't think we did, right?
Yeah. The Torrential Downpour.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. All right, so albums of the year. What's your favorite right now?
Oh man. I really enjoy the new End album that came out. The metalcore supergroup End.
That shit is sick though.
Dude, yeah. And Billy Reimer's on that too. Like I found out like a week or two ago, or
really?
Like I just remembered it. Yeah, Billy. Like
I knew that.
I forgot who was their original drummer, but Billy Reimer's on this new album.
Yeah.
It shows. Like that band's got some like they're fucking sick. I mean, that might be my album of the year as far as metal goes.
What about you, Ashley?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
What's your album of the year?
Oh fuck, man. That's impossible to answer.
The real questions right here.
God almighty. And then my mind blanks when I like, what have I been listening to? I mean, the more and more I listen, okay, so I might say Chapang, just because of like I think they're another band in grime that is doing something different. It's very like, has flavors of oh my god, why can't I fucking remember this? Discordance Axis, who I love, and that vibe is just, yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna probably go with Chapang, also because they're the homies. But I mean, there's so much fucking good stuff coming out this year. It's really hard to say. I mean, the new Fawnlands, fucking A.
This shit is crazy.
The new Sound That Ends Creation, bro.
Dude, that album's awesome, man.
I mean, Needleplay had an EP this year, like all sorts of wild stuff.
There's been a lot of sick shit. Honestly, a lot of sick stuff's been coming out this year.
Like so much I'm not remembering, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. Good stuff, a lot of good stuff.
So you guys got a lot of merch for this. You said that you still have vinyl. I guess cassettes are sold out, right?
So no, we did reissues of cassettes. So we have like technically third edition cassettes available. Those are 12 gauge records cassettes. They're like a different kind of color variant on the first one.
Okay.
And we just, I guess we can announce it. We just received a little shipment of our second edition cassettes.
Oh yeah. from Lower Class Kids.
Yeah, technically our first label was Lower Class Kids Records, is Lower Class Kids Records, who pressed Dawn in Europe, or their label. It's out of Germany, out of Weimar, and the cover is red. So the OG cover is orange. The second cover is red. That's the Europe one, and then the 1 through 12 gauge is a green cover. Same artwork, just kind of changed up a little bit. And so yeah, we got our little, they were sent over to us like on a fucking boat or something. It took forever to get.
It's crazy.
But we finally got them, and so we're gonna sell what we have of those. In addition to the 12 gauge tapes, which are not sold out. There's still those, yeah. But the vinyl, at the moment we don't. I guess we just have black at the moment.
And you guys got CDs or no?
We don't have CDs.
Okay, I didn't see them, so I was just like, I guess they don't have any.
Yeah. I don't know. That's still like kind of, I'm not sure if we'll make CDs. Maybe.
CDs are a little hard to sell nowadays. But I feel like you guys could have done it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I think like we went with tapes initially just because it's kind of like a cool thing. It's not I don't know if anybody's going to listen to their tape or how many people will, especially for the quality. But I don't
think people listen to tapes. I think it's just a novelty having
yeah.
Collector's item.
I mean, I feel like most merch, honestly, is just a novelty at this point. I'm not sure there's too many people that actually like spin records and stuff anymore.
Yeah, I try to, but yeah, it's and so like vinyl was like, oh man, because I know there were people that didn't want to buy the tape, so maybe they'll buy the vinyl.
Cell Damage is asking, how was it working with Rob on the music video for Excavate?
It was great. Rob is a talented filmmaker. In addition to being, fucking heavy lows vocalist. He's a rad dude. So that's something I forgot to mention. The reason we kind of got on 12 Gauge's radar is because Rob, just randomly, he bought our tape, he posted it on his social media. He's like, this band's awesome. And it's like, whoa, dude, the fucking dude from Heavy Low is posting shit. That's cool. And then when I went to 12 Gauge, I remembered, oh fuck, that's right. 12 Gauge, they were founded when they put out Heavy Halo's first record. That was the first 12 Gauge release. I'm like, fuck, that's right. And so I'm like, oh yeah, Rob, 12 Gauge. And so that was another kind of lucky kind of thing. And so yeah. Anyway, Rob was cool. He's a talented filmmaker. He had that footage was stuff that he kind of had or created or had help with other artistic people do. We just kind of were and it was also through the label that kind of helped us with some of that. But we just kind of let Rob do whatever. It was really, really sweet. And that being said, we just went back to Rob for the editing of our live session that's going to be on the GGA, the Global Grindcore Alliance Virtual Fest, December 20th. Because we edited the songs together it's all a live set. But anyway, you'll see. You have to watch it. But we work with Rob on that too, and so yeah, I highly recommend. He's a nice guy, super fucking nice guy.
Alrighty, that's all I had. Unless you guys had something else you wanted to talk about.
I mean, I don't know. I think
we do have some stuff besides that live show happening. That video, or rather, I don't know. But just keep a lookout on our posts and stuff and our Bandcamp. Do have some stuff lined up before the end of the year.
Ooh, teasing some music here? Or
no, not necessarily.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
Yeah,
you got me all excited for a second.
There's some things going on planning.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So check out Dawn, the debut album from Thin, which came out in April on 12 Gauge Records. You guys are on Spotify, I would assume all the other streaming websites and stuff. Bandcamp, Instagram, Facebook. I cannot tag you guys on Twitter, so I assume you're not on Twitter?
No, I guess not.
Okay, no Twitter. You need to get that going.
Yeah.
As for me, drop my channel a follow so you always know when I go live. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube, folks, if you enjoyed this, please drop a like, tickle the notification bell, and subscribe. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation. My 5th album is out now, and I'll be dropping my Christmas EP, Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal, next Friday. Join us every Sunday or Wednesday for the live cast, twitch.tv/The Cast That Ends Creation. My next guest is Dysphoria, Matthew Tech Death Band from the Ukraine, freaking sick as hell. Join us at 12 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/The Cast That Ends Creation for the live cast. It's 12 p.m. Central. Thanks for being here, guys. Hope you all had a good time.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having us.
Peace. Thank you.
Yeah, y'all are welcome anytime.
Super grateful.
And thank you guys for watching and listening.